take 403. Take 604. Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. It's good to see you. Let's dive right into this so that we're going to learn how to do a fingerstyle song. This video is intended for those of you that have never done fingerstyle before, but you want to learn how to do it. So I picked that little tune, I kind of noodled up a little bit for everybody to start on to learn how to do fingerstyle. Fingerstyle is all about finger coordination. At first, it seems like a mountain too high to climb, but it's not. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. Okay. So this video presumes that you know how to make chords. So you know what an E is, you know what an A7 is, an open A7, okay, and you know what a B7 is. If you don't know what those are, go learn how to make those chords. Come back to the video. All right. So we're going to start, and I'm going to explain just a couple of things about the bass notes that we're going to use. And since we're just going to start and do one piece of this tonight, which is part one, which is the E. So we're going to deal with the E bass notes and melodies for this tune before we go to the A7. And you're going to work on that, hopefully, until we get to the next part two video. And since I'm doing these in small chunks, it'll be a little easier to put out and won't take up quite as much time of somebody's time during the day. That's the last thing I want to do is take away from your guitar practice, right? So I think that a good place to start is 6-4 is where you're going to be on your bass notes, and you're going to lead with number 6 because number 6 is this is the root chord, the root bass note for this song is going to be your number 6 string. So we're going to lead with number 6. But 6 and 4 are the two bass notes we're going to use. Now, from time to time, you'll be listening to something like a Folsom Prison Blues or something like that from Johnny Cash. And if you listen to that song, instead of this, you'll hear this. I'm going to go back to that train thing. You get the idea. Later on, we'll use something that maybe deploys all three bass notes. We're going to do that anyway with the C chord because you can't get around it. And in this tune, we're actually going to do the B7 chord is going to utilize all three of those bass notes. So, and the A7 is going to utilize 3 bass notes, but we're only going to utilize 6 and 4 for the E chord, okay? And that's going to make the first section of this a little bit easier, all right? So the way this tune starts out is you make an E chord, pull up your forefinger, assign your fingers to strings. 2 things really important on your picking hand. Whether you're left or right-handed, you got a picking hand, right? Number 6 string is your ring finger. Number 5 string is your middle finger. Number 6 string. Number 1 string is your ring finger. Number 2, your middle finger, and number 3 is your forefinger. Now, when you first start doing this, it's going to be a little awkward. Your thumb is going to handle strings 6, 5, and 4 because those are going to be bass notes in this song, all right? So what you're going to do is make an E chord, pull up your forefinger for your E, like you're in an E minor at this point, but just pull it up, and you're going to take your forefinger, and automatically you know that's string number 3. So if I say middle finger in this song, you know we're going to be talking about string number 2. And if I say ring finger, you know that's going to be string number 1 because that's where we have assigned these fingers. And you'll notice on my hand, they're not going to vary away from that spot very far. They don't wander away and start doing their own thing. You know, they're there to wait their turn and support everything. So pick up your forefinger on your fretting hand. Pull up with your forefinger, number 3 string. Now that's open, right? And then you're going to do a hammer-on with that forefinger. Now you're going to do a hammer-on with the number 6 bass note. As soon as you go down on that, you're going to hit that E bass. Then your middle finger on your picking hand, you're going to pull up. Hear that? On the number 2 string, right? Because that's what your middle finger is assigned to. Just everybody give that a shot. See how it works out. And it's okay. You're going to have to look at your guitar. If you've never done this before, you're going to be sitting here looking at all this, and that's okay. Look at it. Okay? So the next thing you're going to do, so that's your first bass note. So you just played your first bass note and hammer on for this song. Because where we're going to land with this, partway through it, that's the very first thing I want us to learn right there. You can get a lot of things wrong. You can't get your bass line wrong. Okay? To do that, we went through the bass notes twice. 6-4, 6-4. We did it twice. Now we got a few things going on. We have the hammer on, the pickup on number 2, and then we are going to pinch and hammer on to number 2. We're going to pinch the number 4 bass note with the number 2 string open. So first we went, got that? Now we're going to pinch that bass note and that open number 2, and we're going to hammer on with our little finger on that second string, number 2 string, 2nd fret. And then we're going to pick up that bottom E string with our ring finger, and if you swipe both 1 and 2, it's okay. And then we do our bass note again. Catch that? Sometimes I'll just hit the number 1 string. Sometimes I'll hit the number 1 and number 2 string. Not that worried about it. They both sound good together with that E bass note, right? And you got to finish that bass note out, okay? The one thing you would like for all your friends and neighbors to say is, wow, look at them hold that bass note. or have some other guitarist that actually plays guitar go, wow, that's a really nice holding that bass note, you know. Because that is the rock on this, okay? This bass player, they rule when it comes to music and timing and telling people where to go and what to do next. I don't know. There's some very interesting things about the inner workings of the bass guitar, the drummer, and the rhythm guitarist, right? So there's 3 people right there. You're going to find the rhythm guitar. His ear is tuned to that bass player and that drummer. Okay, the bass player and the drummer are very well coordinated. All right, just the kind of things you don't ever really think about too much, but you're doing all that with this rolling bass. So let's try this again. From the beginning, we're going to hold up our forefinger, we're going to do a hammer-on with the bass note, and we're going to follow this on through very, very slowly. And you got your palm of your hand over, so you're muted. And you want to be muted enough that you can tell that's an E. I can hear that, but it's muted. You get a little percussion in there with it that way. And if you've never done this fingerstyle before, this is not easy. It takes a lot of practice, but once you have a few successes, you're going to be very, very excited, okay? So, forefinger up. You've made your E chord, forefinger up. Your forefinger on your picking hand. All of these are pull-ups, you're not pushing away from the string, you're pulling the string, okay? But you're not killing it most of the time. So, pick up that forefinger again on that fretting hand, and let's do this again. First bass notes are here. The next bass notes are here. And that pinch and that hammer on with your little finger is going to be awkward, because I'm going to tell you, this guy right here, he's the most ornery of all fingers on the planet, okay? He never wants to cooperate. He has to be trained, just like the other ones. But if you ever known anybody that took a little more training than somebody else, maybe at your job or something like that, and you loved them, you wanted to see them do well and succeed. That's the way I feel about my little finger. But mine requires a little more training. Yours probably will too. Okay. Now we got that. May not have it just yet, but we're going to do this thing in small little chunks. So now we're going to move on to the next piece of this. You talk about a pinky finger that doesn't want to cooperate. Here's where he starts. This is where he really starts getting hard to get along with. You're going to do with your forefinger on your picking hand, you're going to pull up on number 3. And when you do that, you're going to have your forefinger in the fret position with the E chord. That bass note's going the whole time. So I'm going to take it up to where we've learned to, and then I'm going to head to the frets here. So if you go, that little finger is actually going to reach out in the E chord position. 1, 2, 3, 4, fret number 4. Right there. Now, when you first go to do that, that's going to be very difficult to do. But you're going to have to work on this and practice it, and you'll get to a place to where it's not all where you're doing this. You will get there. I promise you, you will get there if you continue to work on this. Okay. So here we go. We'll take it to the first part, and then we'll walk through how to get that pinky up there and have it do a little walk down on that fretboard, okay? Pull up number 3, which is your forefinger on your picking hand. Now that's between a bass note right there. See my bass note up here? My bass note, I'm pinching my number 6 and my number 1 string. So we're going to be between the bass notes on this. So let's do this little piece of it again. Make your E chord. Pick up your number 3 string with your forefinger. And you got it planted right here in your E chord. And then you're going to do a pinch, number 6, number 1. Number 4 bass note, Okay? Just like that. Okay? Do it just that slow. The last thing you want to do is get in a hurry. And you think, well, all right, well, I can do this. And then the key to success is to speed it up. No, it's not. Some of the best songs in the world are very, very slow. But all these songs, when you start out learning how to do some tunes, this song right here is still kicking my rear on a few occasions. I'm still having a problem with this, okay? One of them is I can't seem to get this chord up. Well, I got to it better that time than I've gotten to it fast, so it's not all bad, right? But when I first started this song out, I wanted to tackle it and have it down in 10 minutes because I already knew how to do this. No, it's just not, doesn't work that way. You have to slow down a little bit. Like with this one, I just like, what finally got me to where I could semi get through this tune was I went. And I did it just that slow, okay? This is no different. Make your E chord, stretch that little finger out there, pick up that number 4 fret, and you can know there's no way I can do that. Yes, you can do it. Go very, very slowly. Pick up that number 3 string, pinch 6 and 1. If it takes you a minute to get that little finger to move down 1 fret, that's okay. Slow down a little bit. Then hit the bass note. Top bass note, pinch. Number 4 bass note. Number 6 bass note. Number 4 bass note. Okay? Don't worry about how your hand looks. I saw a cartoon or something somebody had sent me. I can't remember who sent it to me now. Anyway, it showed them on the fingerboard with their fingers kind of like this. It was supposed to be a joke, but I didn't laugh because that's true. I mean, that's what your hands look like sometimes, okay? Okay? Now, if you got to back the video up, because I'm going to go back and I'm actually going to edit several things out so that we kind of get to the meat of this, because you can always go back and watch this thing. All right, very slowly, hammer on. Until you can get that down, don't try to go any further. That's our number 5, our middle finger on our picking finger. Now we're going to pinch our bass note and our number 2 string. First we're going to pick it up, and then we're going to pinch. Don't forget to follow back with that bass note. And then the number 3 string with our 4 finger, everything planted as normal, our E chord. And we'll go into the A7 on the next occasion, okay? Now I'm going to go back and make sure I didn't drool all over my guitar in this video, and get my point across. Hopefully I can edit enough of this together that that it makes sense, okay? And with that, I'll leave it with you, and then we'll come out with a part 2, and we'll deal with the A7, and then we'll come out with a part 3 and deal with the B7, and then we'll come back and tie all this together in maybe a 4th video. And then maybe we'll do, I guess, a 5th video and show some improvising we can do. There's things you can do, and it'll allow you to learn a little bit more of the fretboard. So if you're brand new to fingerstyle, just step number 1. Right there, right? There you go, it's a hammer on right there with the bass note. The bass note just keeps going, keeps going. Everything's on or between the bass note, okay? I appreciate you joining the channel today. Hopefully you pick something up out of this. We can begin to move a little bit forward with your fingerstyle without things being, let's say, overly complex. Don't forget, these are kind of big deals. You know, where you're doing some of these hammer-ons. Important to the process of learning how to do a little fingerstyle. And believe me, just because you've been playing rhythm for 30 years does not mean you're going to walk right in and start playing fingerstyle. You're not. There's things you have to learn. There's training of the fingers that you're going to have to do, and there's some coordination of these hands that's going to have to take place. And I know, because I played rhythm guitar for years and years and years. And when I started doing fingerstyle, I thought I had just picked a guitar up for the first time in my life. It felt so awkward. But I stuck with it, and now I can at least do this. You know, if this is all I could do, I'd be kind of happy. But then again, I'm pretty easy to please. So, and for those of you that know me, stop laughing. Appreciate you joining. Look forward to doing the 2nd round of this with the A7, and then the 3rd round with the B7. And then we'll come back with a 4th so that we can wrap everything up and tie it together. And then we'll show a few variations on how we could add to that a little bit. You know, we've got things where you... there's things that there's some things that you can add in that give it a little flavor. So if you want to, you do this the 1st round like you normally do, and then maybe for round 2 you add a few things in to kind of change it up a little bit and give it a little, I don't know, a little something that makes everybody smile a little bit, right? Because that's what it's all about, right? So look forward to seeing you next time. Appreciate you joining. God bless. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.